Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie, and today I'm back with another installment of my window shopping series, this time for Hella Handmade creations. Hella Handmade is another monthly pre-order that takes place over the course of 1 week, so it's a little bit longer than PPU. And the other main difference is that every brand follows their own theme instead of having a monthly theme that changes. So as always, I will save some more thoughts for the end. For now, let's just look at the website. Alright, so here is the website for Hella Handmade Creations. It's going to be live from the 14th through the 21st, so let's just look at the first 2 rows. And we really only have the 3 polishes at the top, and none of them are really interesting enough to catch my eye. Obviously, my favorite of the 3 is the Alchemy lacquers. Love that it's called Fairy of the Forest. It sounds like it's so up my alley, but I already have so many pinks with a blue shimmer, though this one does look a little bit deeper or maybe more purple leaning, but I'm usually not really into those kind of pinks anyway, so we can just keep moving. And from here, I'm also not really drawn to anything myself. The Arcana lacquer sealed envelope is kind of reminding me of Island Peace Hallucinate, but with a much more subtle sort of shimmer, so it doesn't really stand out to me so much. The BCB looks like a lot of other really bright shades that we've seen recently, and if anything, the Bee's Knees is like kind of interesting, but not one that I'm looking to like get myself, because as I've mentioned already, I'm not a big fan of the blue and yellow sort of combination. This one though does remind me the most of Mooncat's Curiosities Trap, which I recently added to my D-stash pile, but there is something about this shade that I kind of like a little bit more. I don't know if it's like the specific shade of blue that maybe is a little deeper, more inky, but again, I'm just not a big fan of the gold greenish contrasting shimmer. It is cool, but you know, just not for me, and that's okay. So we can keep it moving. From here, the by Vanessa Molina, okay, this is an Encore polish Paladin. I was gonna say that looks familiar. Super stunning. It's tempting, but I'm not even gonna tap into it. It looks so ethereal, so otherworldly. I love the glow. Almost looks like a chromey kind of look in lower lighting, which I love with shimmers, but again, I just simply don't need it. And the only other one that's kind of interesting to me, but also reminds me of something else, is the Cleona Primeval Forest. This one is giving me Mooncat's Nocturne. There was even a polish pickup shade just this month that looks kind of similar to this. I forget the brand though, but it just has that teal, you know, sort of base with this fiery copper shimmer and then this flaky as well. Maybe this one is a little bit more green leaning. The Mooncat and the polish pickup shade were more blue teal, but definitely all within the same family, so you know, we're starting to see some familiar shades, but yeah, other than that, not really into anything else, so we can move on to the next 2 rows here. I do like this other Cleona, this Encore Heart of Fallen Star. This is just so pretty. This one being a hot pink with a blue shimmer. I don't think it's an exact dupe for Mooncat's Merkitten necessarily. I think this might be like a more reddy hot pink or with a stronger coral undertone, but it is still so gorgeous. The only other one that I kind of like here is the Cracked, called Romance is Dead. It's a deep maroon with pearlescent white and green shimmers. I did not really see the white or green, but I do get that like subtle pearlescent kind of vibe. I especially love the base color of this one. Oh my gosh, it's just such a perfect fall shade. Almost reminds me of wine or sangria. It is super gorgeous. I can't think of an exact dupe or something close to it, but I do feel like I have something in the same kind of color family at least. So as much as I am tempted by it, I want to be a little bit responsible at least and not get it, but this one is such a beauty. So yeah, I'm not really feeling anything else, so we can just keep it moving. And from here, I mean, this isn't a great picture, but I am, you know, loving the color. Oh, and it looks like it's the only picture of this Hearts and Promises Strawberry Obsidian. I love the name of that. Beautiful. It's just described as a red leaning pink hollow base with shimmer. It's probably going to be similar to other hot pink shimmers or hot pink hollows that I have, though maybe I could see it being a lot warmer, being a red leaning kind of pink. So, you know, maybe not an exact dupe for Hollow Taco's Hot Wire Pink or Mooncat's Venus Flytrap. Like that one is very cool toned, for example. So there's something about this color that I really, really like. And again, paired with the name, it's beautiful. I'm really into it, but it's just a hollow at the end of the day. So I will skip it for now, but you know, maybe if I actually see some swatches, I'll be a little tempted by it, but if not, you know, it's fine. It's no big deal. So we can move on from here. The Jen & Barry's Technical Difficulties. This looks kind of pretty. It has such an icy, wintry feel for me personally. I love the shimmer color and how it kind of shifts, but it's still very subtle. Like you can see more of that green shimmer head on, like in the left hand photos, but then in more extreme angles, you see the subtle shift to like aqua and indigo. I love those kinds of shifts, but yeah, it doesn't look like the shimmer in this is super, super glowy. And oh, that looks so pretty matte. Totally adds to that wintry feel I was talking about. So this is it's beautiful, but I don't need it. The only polish I can think of that's like somewhat similar to this is Pixie Stick for Mooncat, but not really because that one's a lot more white. This has more of that silvery gray base. It's described as having a pink tinted base, but I don't know. I guess the shimmer obviously makes it lean, a lot more neutral. And this also has flakies when Pixie Stick doesn't, but it's really pretty, but you know, not one that I need to buy. And the Linby Designs, this is another super beautiful one because of the shimmer. Again, it just looks so glowy. It honestly looks like the last polish, but without the flakies. Or you can see what I mean here, where the Linby just looks like it has a much stronger kind of glow with that shimmer, so that's interesting to note. But yeah, other than that, not really into anything else. I mean, this Moonshine Mani does look kind of cool. I was thinking maybe this could be another Mooncat Midnight Rider dupe or alternative, but it looks like this is a magnetic, so that is really interesting. I don't think Island P has a dupe like this because they're magnetic that has a blue shimmer against a black base, has a silver magnetic pull. I think that one was called Nocturnal, or no, that was Darkest Hour. Nocturnal actually does kind of look like this, but without it being a magnetic. So, you know, similar vibes, but yeah, we can just move on. Speaking of Island P, this Nailed It. This tea is nothing more than leaf juice. This one is kind of giving Deep Space, but it looks a little bit more shifty. I don't think Deep Space has a pink shift in the shimmer. I feel like I see a little bit of orange or yellow too, so this one might be a little bit more multi-chromatic. So not an exact dupe by any means, but definitely very similar vibes. Like as soon as I see that teal and purple, I immediately think of Deep Space, so I don't need that one. But what I do want to tap into is this Naps and Nails Wilding Wild Time. This is so pretty. It's described as a seafoam teal crelly base with iridescent shifting flakies. I love this one. I especially love the base color. I love that this one has the iridescent flakes. It just kind of gives it this gemstone sort of look. And it doesn't look incredibly sheer either. Like it has a pretty decent amount of coverage, maybe more of a milky jelly, where you still see a little hint of nail line, of course, but you know, pretty decent coverage. Oh, this one is so pretty. So immediately I'm trying to think, okay, well, it's pretty simple in its finish, right? Like maybe I could recreate it. I don't think though Crack's Breakfast at Monique's is a close enough dupe for the base. I think maybe this is a little bit more in that seafoam territory. This photo definitely looks the closest, I think, to Breakfast at Monique's, where it's more of that Tiffany blue kind of color, but then the other photos just lean a little bit more green, which I really love, so it's kind of hard to gauge. I mean, I would have to safely assume that the polish would look closer like this on me, but I don't know if the swatcher is using a different base coat, if they're using like fake nails or anything like that that can sort of alter the color. But assuming she isn't, and you know, it's just her natural nail, it's probably gonna pull a little bit more blue on me versus how it pulls a little bit more green on medium and deeper skin tones. But then again, all these other swatches look like they're in kind of indoor, you know, studio type of lighting, and this is in outdoor sunlight, so it's just kind of hard to gauge. It's so pretty though. But yeah, I think like I could recreate it, maybe, you know, getting a little creative with the layering, where if Breakfast at Monique's is just too blue, I can do like a thin layer of jade jelly from Cirque on top to like add that bit of green, and obviously layer one of the Holo Taco unicorn skins. I don't remember if it's called Cosmic, Aurora, one of those that has like the orange and pink primary colors. It's easy enough to recreate, but yeah, this is really pretty. I also really love the polish, Stardew Valley Fair. I unfortunately never got into Stardew Valley because the one time that I did try it, I got so overwhelmed with how fast it went. I was like, wait, what do you mean the day is ending? I literally am still figuring out the controls. So that was kind of stressful, but I always love, you know, the inspirations and stuff. Like, it's just super cute, and this polish looks so beautiful. It does have a familiar feel to it, but I feel like I am blanking out on what it's reminding me of. But I just know we've seen this, like, you know, shimmer, flaky sort of finish before. I don't think it's quite giving Mooncat's Mermaid Bay. I feel like maybe this wants to be Mermaid Bay, but it's just not there. But it still is really shifty, still very glowy and sparkly, so, you know, I'm not trying to take away from it, but color wise it just looks a little bit more muted, or maybe just like deeper. So while it is beautiful, I definitely don't need it. And yeah, from here, you know, the other shades they're nice, but not nice enough that I want to buy them, and they also don't really remind me of other shades, so we can move on. The Paradox polish, Glinda, is the one that's catching my eye, so I want to tap into it. It's described as a jelly pink with reflective glitter, hollow glitters, and pink to green shimmer. It looks so beautiful under flash, but let me see if there's like, okay, yeah, I think these photos don't have flash, and it still is really pretty. Are these not top coated at all? Because I would have loved to see that. Okay, this one looks a little bit smoother. It definitely leans like a more peachy pink or a salmon kind of pink, which I do like, but I don't know, there's something about that shade in combination with the green that isn't necessarily my favorite. So it's kind of nice, you know, it's pretty. I can appreciate it on other people, but I think I can leave it. I do also really love the Pampered polishes. It's my metal. I just love soft shades of gold like this. Oh, I think it's so beautiful, just so flattering. It's not too yellow, although it kind of looks like it in this photo specifically, but every other photo it definitely leans a lot softer. I do already have a few. I'm blanking out on the specific names, but I know there's like a Morgan Taylor one from I think this past winter. I also have one from C&D that maybe is kind of like this. I don't think those have hollow in them. It looks like this has a little tiny kiss of hollow flakies. I wonder how noticeable that is actually on the nail. I guess you kind of see it. So that is really pretty. If you don't already have a soft gold, I feel like you kind of need one, right? I don't know, at least that's my preference when it comes to gold over the more loud, brash, or even antique golds. That one is so pretty. And the only other one from here that's kind of catching my eye, but because it reminds me of another shade, is the Pepper Polish Siren's Light. This magnetic, at first, you know, judging from this photo where it was just purple, was reminding me of Cirque's Clairvoyant, which I think they like recently brought back. But now seeing these other photos, it definitely looks a little bit different. It looks like it has a more indigo blue base. Well, it's described as a deep purple base with a lilac blue duochrome magnetic pigment and a touch of hollow microflakes. I love that. So beautiful. The subtle shift going from purple to blue just looks like a galaxy. Oh, how stunning. The base to me definitely looks more blue than purple though. So I can't tell if it's blurple or if it's actually purple and I just, don't see colors well anymore. But yeah, this is super gorgeous. Not one that I need, but if I didn't already have Clairvoyant, I probably would be really tempted by this one because I don't think I have anything quite like this. Island Peace Shooting Star is a lot more blue leaning, even though it does have pink and purple kind of shimmer in it. This to me is very different, so I do really love this one, but unfortunately not enough to actually buy it. And yeah, while the other polishes on here, look pretty, they're just not really my type. They also don't remind me of other shades. I mean, maybe this Penelope Luz Clematis, I don't know if that's how you pronounce that. I am immediately reminded of Lurid's Indomitable, which is like a super glowy, intense purple shimmer. I can't tell if this is maybe lighter or a little bit more pink leaning. Maybe the shimmer particles are also just a little bit larger in this one. I think in Lurid it's a lot more finely milled, so it gives that sheen almost, giving it a metallic kind of glow. But it's kind of reminding me of that. So I'm curious, if you already have Indomitable, would you pick up this Penelope Luz, or do you think they are too similar? So yeah, now we can just keep going to the next two rows here. And from here, okay, this Phoenix I. Okay, so yeah, it's part of a duo, so there's I and you. This one, the colors were reminding me of Mermaid Bait, just being so shifty, but it looks like a pretty different finish. There's like these flakies in there, so I don't think I have anything quite like this. I mean, maybe if you layered Fallen Flake Taco over Mermaid Bait, you can kind of recreate this, but the flakies in this look much smaller, so, not an exact dupe. But oh my gosh, the Psyche Minerals Wild thing, oh, it looks so pretty. I love that it has that lighter purple kind of reflective glitter that is just beautiful, but without that, the base, or just on its own, is kind of giving Island Peace fairy dust. But this does also have these iridescent flakies in there, which I didn't notice so much at first. Yeah, like I saw a little pop in the collage, but here they look super chunky, which isn't my favorite, at least not for this combination. If this just had the base shimmer, the light purple reflective, I would be so tempted to add it to my cart, or to my wish list at least. If anything, this just makes me want a light purple reflective topper, which I'm pretty sure Fancy Gloss has something like that. So yeah, I won't be adding this one, but it is so beautiful. And I also think this red-eyed is really pretty. I'm hoping that they have swatches, but no, it doesn't look like it. It's a muted turquoise hollow flaky bomb, so probably wouldn't end up loving it on the nail, but the color looks pretty at least. So yeah, we can just move on to the next couple of rows here. And I'm not super drawn to the polishes. I mean, I want to tap into the Rogue just to kind of see the flakies in this. These do look so insane. I know Rogue is known for these types of flaky bombs, but I don't know, there's just something about them that, I feel like I just wouldn't love on me, but it does look cool. It's one of those I'm just gonna appreciate on other people. I think the Sassy Cats is pretty. I love that it has a little shift, or like a subtle shift, going from hot pink to a more raspberry color pink, or maybe a watermelon pink is more accurate. accurate, but I have more than enough hot pinks so we can just keep going. And the Sassy Pants Cactus Bloom, this one is so pretty. Okay, these photos are a lot more yellow leaning. I definitely love this color of green where like you do see that yellow shimmer, but I don't know, it has this almost shamrock colored base, if that makes sense. Oh, like I love how it looks there. It's just so pretty, but definitely another one that's like kind of hard to gauge, because if it looks like this, there's nothing wrong with it, right? But I feel like I have some other greens that are kind of like this, but I don't have many greens like this. So this is what I would want, you know? And I love that it has like the yellow shimmer head on, because I feel like a lot of greens that I love usually have a pink shimmer head on that shifts to yellow and extreme light. And I always think about, or mention it in some videos at least, how I would want the colors to be flipped to see the gold against the green. It's just so pretty in my opinion. So yeah, this is another one that's like kind of tempting, but I'm still a little like iffy on the swatches, because I know you're supposed to do that thing where you should judge a polish based off of the quote unquote worst swatch photo. So, you know, it's nothing against this swatcher in particular, but it's just these photos, you know, don't look as appealing as these other ones. So I wouldn't want to get it just in case it does end up looking like this, you know? So kind of a shame, because I do really like this one. I really am super tempted by it. Maybe I'll look up some more swatches or swatch footage on YouTube or something and see what other people are saying. And there's only a cap of 100, so this is definitely like a more limited one. I don't want FOMO to like play into it, but you know, I'm thinking of the color. It's definitely up my alley, something that I would want. So I'll have to consider it, but I guess, you know, for now, just so I don't like forget about it, I'll add it to my wish list. Other than that though, I'm not really into the other polishes. I mean, the Vibrant Scents Watermelon Taffy Scented Base and Top Coat, they sound yummy, but I am not in the market for any more. And so finally, the last couple of polishes here, these are pretty, but not ones that I need. So the Watcha Saturn, this is a beautiful brown magnetic, arguably pretty unique compared to the other brown magnetics I have, because the shimmer in this is just so light. Like it has this champagne sandy kind of color, and a lot of the brown magnetics I have, like Island Peas Fawn or Hollow Taco's Fairy Tale, they just have slightly darker magnetic shimmers than this one. And it looks like this also has a holographic magnetic effect too, which is you know, not my favorite thing, mainly because it just kind of fades or dissolves or something over time. So, you know, keep that in mind, but definitely a pretty shade. Honestly, I do still kind of think about that one Watcha, I forget what planet it was, I think it was Mars, where it sort of had like a warm milk chocolate base with a red magnetic pigment. Oh, I still think about that. I don't really regret it, but I think about it. Then I want to tap into this Witch Kohl. This looks so pretty. Very sheer though. Okay, this is like topper level kind of sheer, but it's cute. You know, the little iridescent flakies, they're so tiny. This is inspired by the Shell series item. I can definitely see that. Very pretty, very dainty, but you know, I have a few flaky toppers. And then this Zombie Claw, this is kind of reminding me of Polish for Days Blossom, I think. Maybe it's a little bit different, or I'm thinking of another shade that's similar to it. Definitely in that same family though, but this is also another super sheer polish. Like, look at that. Love the combination, you know, this kind of pinky coppery shimmer against a purpley pink base. You just can't go wrong with it. It's pretty, but yeah, I feel like I already have, you know, something like it. So looking at my wish list, yeah, the one that I added is the Sassy Pants, but I also still am kind of thinking about that Hearts and Promises, the hot pink linear hollow, where it's just a lot more red leaning, because like I mentioned, I do already have Hot Wire Pink and Venus Flytrap. I think I may also still have the hot pink from A England, or no, maybe I did destash that one because that was like basically a dupe for the Mooncat one. So I'm kind of considering the Hearts and Promises just because it's a much warmer toned pink. I remember having that kind of thought when it came to the lighter pink hollows, which led me to pick up Island Pea's Kiss and Tell, which is still a light pink hollow, but it's just warm toned, and I really like that. So yeah, I kind of want to, you know, look up some more swatches, really think about it. I'm not super sold on it, but you know, considering it, right? But I think the Sassy Pants, I do want to take the chance and get it and just, you know, see it for myself. So that wraps up my window shopping for Hella Handmade creations this month. As always, I would love to know what you thought of this month's offerings. Were you tempted by polishes? Do you have any on your wish list, or are you skipping them altogether? I was gonna say I felt pretty tempted this month, but at the same time, there were also a lot that I just wasn't really interested in, so I just immediately scrolled past them. There was really only a handful that I was really kind of on the fence and considering, but as you saw, I just have the one polish, but I'm still debating if it's going to be two. The more that I think about it though, the more that I'm leaning towards not getting the Hearts and Promises, just because I already don't wear a lot of linear hollows on their own. And so while I'm sure it would be beautiful, I don't want to get something that I'm just not gonna wear, you know? So I'm gonna maybe skip out on that one and just go with the Sassy Pants, even though I do feel a little like hesitant picking it up just because I feel like I've picked up so many greens this year. And I know I really don't need another one, but that one is just so pretty. So I think I do want to kind of do some comparisons to other greens that I have and try to do that like one in, one out type of rule. So, you know, we'll see how it goes, but let me know what you're going to be getting this month, if anything, or just let me know any and all thoughts you have down below so we can chat about it. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!